All right, well, we're getting started. I'm Kristen Vincent Wright, Coordinator of Career Services, and I have with me today my wonderful, wonderful coworker, Jessica Valdez Espinoza. She's going to be working with the PowerPoint and watching the chat. So, welcome to Career Readiness in the Classroom. Really, we're going to have a conversation today to see how staff and faculty members can incorporate some career readiness and job skill tips into your curriculum, your assignments, your extra credit. How can we do some things to engage our students to visit career services a little bit more, and then have some employer moments where they actually come to our classroom or our virtual classroom and talk to our students with a hands-on projects. So we're going to go through the PowerPoint. At any point, if you have any questions, please just stop me, or I'll ask Jessica to watch out for the chat. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. So preparing career-ready students for the jobs of tomorrow. Next slide. So these are tough times for graduates, as we all know, because we have been at home for the last couple of months. Times are a little bit tougher. Your traditional matriculation through college, you graduate, you have a degree, you have a skill set. There is usually an opportunity for you to find a job. You may not get the job you want, but there's usually an opportunity for you to interview and find a job. But we live in different times with different technologies, behaviors, and an economy that has not only seen a reduction in blue-collar jobs, but is seeing a severe squeeze on corporate jobs. So now our students are looking for jobs with people who are 20 or 30 years seasoned in a career, who are also looking for job opportunities, or a company that has taken all their jobs and moved them overseas or virtual. So it's just tough times. It's much more competitive employment environment today, and organizations are able to employ competent global talent for 1/10 of the employing domestic workers. So a lot of jobs have gone overseas, or if you are someone who's a little bit more seasoned and you're looking for a job, a lot of our students are students who are a little bit older. They're coming back to get their degree because they want a better paying job. And so their salary range may be in the 60s and 70s, whereas a traditional student who is 19, 20 might be looking for a job, $35,000 to $40,000. And so that student who's seasoned is now sometimes taking those jobs that are the beginning salaries, your 35 and 40, or a little bit lower than that. So it's just a different cycle for our students. On top of that, graduates today are not only competing with their fellow graduates, but also the unemployed and underemployed. High unemployment rate, 10% unemployment rate. In Tarrant County, I don't have the specific numbers. It's not as bad as the national numbers, but there's still very limited job opportunities for our students. Next slide, please. So, what is it that Career Services does? How familiar are you with Career Services and the services that we offer? We're going to play just a little bit of a game, and I'm going to let Jessica facilitate this part of how well you know Career Services.
Okay, so you'll just see the question pop up. You should see the question pop up. How can faculty partner with Career Services? So, if you guys want to give us some responses, either in the chat, or you can turn on your mic on how does Career Services usually partner with faculty, or how can we partner with faculty?
Who's our first volunteer?
No volunteers.
We gotta have a volunteer before we can move on. Come on, Jason. Come on, David.
We will need help with this one. We need the expert with this.
What are some ways you can partner with Career Services?
So like you just mentioned, Jason, one way is by hiring student workers. We help, oh, that was the wrong one. We help students get a job on campus, and a lot of times it's with faculty. So that's one way. Also inform students about Career Services. So as a faculty member, you can let students know what we do, just at the beginning, whenever you're introducing the class or whatnot, and you are giving them maybe the services that you can get around the campus, you can inform them about career services. Those are two. So
Okay.
Anybody else have an idea of another one?
What if you have to be out of your class? What if you have to miss a class? Instead of canceling class, could you call Career Services to come and do a presentation?
No, we have to. Yeah.
So it is up there. So you don't have to cancel class. If you have a class that you can't make it to your class on a certain day, then you can definitely call us and we can do either a My Plan or do a presentation on resumes. I mean, even if it has nothing, if you're doing a biology class, it kind of has nothing to do with resumes, have nothing to do with it. Well, it's better than canceling class. They'll be getting information about the workforce. So once they go out in the field, we can tailor that presentation to biology and see what jobs they can get within that field. So
Okay, I see. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something we started last year. Advising and Counseling did a little campaign that says don't cancel that class. And so we were able to go in and do just an overview of career services, advising and counseling, the transfer center, so that students could still learn a little bit instead of having no class.
I think that's a great idea. Yes.
Yeah, so another way would be give students extra credit for career services events. So whenever we put up events, usually we advertise them either by emailing the faculty or by coming to your class and talking about it. So you want to make sure that you're telling students, hey, go to this event, and you can also give them extra credit. That's very helpful to us to get to encourage students to come to our events.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll just turn all of them over.
So another one is send students to career services as assignment. So you can tell them to come visit career services and give them either extra credit that way, or also tell them that that's an assignment, so a full credit assignment as well. And then the last one, of course, the primary one is give in class or virtual presentation. So we can come into your class one day, and if you're doing something that's related to career services, whether it be resumes or finding a job or interviews, anything that has to do with career services, you can definitely go to in class. We can come to your class either virtually or physically in the future and do a presentation. And I noticed that Dave said have students attend career development workshops in the intercultural network. Yes, that's something that we recently did this last semester. So yeah, that would be like an event we do in collaboration with the intercultural network, and definitely have students come in to listen to our presentations.
That's so good.
All right, you're good. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you, Jason, David.
Thank you.
All right, so what is our goal and how can you really help? Well, the goal is to ensure that students have completed the steps necessary to explore career opportunities, acquire job search skills, create a written career plans, and build professional networks. This is the essential goal of career services. And we take it step by step at the Train to River campus. And so that's where we need your help. Next slide. In the 21st century, we have seen and will continue to see game-changing innovations in how we teach and learn, and how we apply new technologies and paradigms, and how we deliver more education, more options, and more quality. A lot of our students right now are learning from Instagram and YouTube. They go out to YouTube, they're interested in and they watch videos. It's the technology of bringing videos in the classroom. We have an excellent allied health program. But let's say that you're in class and you're not quite catching it. A lot of students have shared, I go to videos. I do online tutorials. And Jason, you know this. You guys do the math labs and the tutoring labs. A lot of students, it's just easy for them to say a visual instead of in classroom teaching. And so we're trying to figure out from a career services perspective, how can we bring career readiness and use the technology of videos or Skypes or Zooms in the classroom? We know that learning is more effective when it is embedded in experiential and collaborative contexts, when it puts individuals in charge of their own learning, and when it can be adapted to the diverse needs and strengths of the learners. Next slide. So, integrating career readiness into the curriculum ensures that all TR students are well prepared for postgraduate success. And I'm not going to read all of this because you guys can see it. So Career Services would like to focus this year on strengthening our connections with faculty and administrators across the campus in the following ways. 1, working with faculty to redesign courses with career readiness components. At the beginning of the classroom, when you are going through your syllabus and you're putting together your plans, is there an opportunity for a career readiness, career goals, goal planning? Is there an opportunity to make that one of your assignments and then allow Career Services to come in and speak to your students, or to come in and bring examples of the goals that they have set? That's just one way. How can we be embedded in your curriculum? How can we become a part of your assignments? And I know it's already a very tight schedule for all that you want to do, but we feel as though if we can partner a little bit more and become a part of the assignments, it allows our students, once they graduate, to really be shining stars on behalf of TCC and to be the subject matter experts that you guys are guiding them to be. Number 2, leverage technology to bring Career Services into the classroom and facilitate the involvement of employers in the classroom and academic setting. So 2 years ago, I partnered with Alicia Lupanici and we brought in TEK Systems. We did an information session. So she had all of her business classes come into Energy Classroom. And what they essentially did is they did an information session where they talked about who they are, what they're looking for when they hire, but more importantly, as a student at TCC, which classes you should be taking to get a job at their company. And so we thought that was really important. We had about 5 classes there, and we asked for follow-up. Did you hire any of our students? Did anybody get an internship? So we had 2 students who were hired, but we only had 5 students who took the interest to at least send their resumes or collect cards from the recruiters who came. So that's an area where we need to improve. That's an area where my office has taken on employer relations and improving our relationships with employers. But by partnering with the academic setting, if we have a project where we can bring in a HR manager, or we can bring in someone to be a judge or to give a brief guest lecture, that brings more credibility to the workforce and the types of jobs they are looking for. Next slide. So career readiness, what does career readiness really look like? You hear the term all the time, but what does that mean? What do I mean when I say career readiness? Well, you learn, you explore, you have opportunities, and that leads to success. So the first one I have for learn is encourage your students to take the My Plan career assessment and discuss career goals as an assignment. This is a win-win, and the TR faculty is excellent at making sure that they send their students either to Career Services to take My Plan, or they invite us into their classroom. We just need more of it. If we can have 60% of our students or 60% of our faculty to bring us into their classroom and make an assignment, that would help us move the mark in making sure that our students are career ready. So how does that work in this virtual world? Just the same. We still have My Plan. What we can do is we can send you the link with the access code. We can send you the PowerPoint, or I can do a brief, just like I would do in person, brief tutorial on My Plan. Your students would take it, and then we can return and go over their goals that My Plan talked about once they took the assessment. So everything we did in the classroom, we can still do in a virtual setting. Explore. What is it that we can do to explore career readiness? Schedule and plan informational interviews to obtain advice from employed professionals in your chosen field or industry. If there is something that you are specifically discussing or lecturing on, and there is an industry professional that you reach out to me and say, you know what, do you know someone who could talk about architecture? We're doing something on architecture. I would absolutely love to do that. We can use our resources. Jessica has done an excellent job of the employers who come to our job fair. They stay in touch with us. And so you may have noticed over the last year, they would be on Main Street and they'd be there every Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday and Friday, just talking to our students, having tables set up, recruiting. So we have excellent relationships with employers. Allow us to tap into those and bring those into your classroom. Opportunities. Attend career and internship fairs, networking, and other marketable skills events and workshops. So throughout the year, and absolutely, we partnered with Dave and Dontrell in the career development workshops in the Intercultural Network Center. We have more workshops. Got workshops, we have internship fairs, we have job fairs. There are all types of opportunities where students can get some experience. They can ask questions to professionals. And this upcoming semester, we are trying to have a virtual job and career fair. It will be in partnership with all 5 campuses of Tarrant County College, the career coordinators. That's going to be probably late October. We are looking forward to technology and a virtual platform to host it. Next slide. So, facilitate integration of employers into the classroom and academic activities. This is the second part of my presentation that I want to focus on. How can we utilize employers as guest speakers for your faculty curriculum? We do have, and it's the Business Advisory Council, the BAC, that is a council of about 20 people who are engaged with Trinity River in the business department, and they meet quarterly, and they talk about the needs of the business environment versus the needs of our faculty and college students. And so I've been invited to those meetings a couple of times. There's an AT&T representative. I know Tyson was looking for someone from Cisco to participate. And so this is an excellent opportunity for employers to really understand the needs of the faculty. Well, what Career Services would like to do is take it a little bit further. Understand the needs, but how can you apply what you understand to our students? Can you come in and can you bring in maybe another expert to talk about getting your resume ready? We do a wonderful job. I must say myself, we do a great job of talking about the resume. But if you have a hiring manager who can specifically say, I'm looking for this, it brings more credibility to the job that they're looking for. And so that's part of our job, is to bring in the resources to make sure that our students are successful. So next slide. So more companies are participating in programs to increase their exposure to students. The talent pipeline. It's a win-win for recruiters as well. If they're on our campus and they're coming into your classroom, you're building up a relationship with that employer. They're building up that pipeline. And so everybody wins, and the students are being a little bit more engaged in employability skills. Frequent campus visits by employers to the Career Center or the academic classroom allow students to learn about a company's culture and career opportunities. So many of our students say, I'm here at TCC to take my basics. And we've been saying for years, your basics are not going to lead you to the job that you're looking for. Tell me a little bit more. Why are you really here? Why are you taking the classes? What type of job, what type of lifestyle do you want? And so if you can hear it from that senior VP who graduated from TCC, who then transferred to UTA, who then went on to get their master's at TCU, and who's a VP, it becomes a little bit more real and obtainable. So again, we ask, allow us to partner with you to come into the classrooms and to bring the employer. Next slide. So employer information sessions have been popular for years. You've seen them all, you've probably participated in. Pizza, gift cards, please come in, sign up. Let me tell you a little bit about my company. And so they're very, very popular. But what about inviting employers to participate in the classroom experience with managers teaching some classes alongside faculty and are judging student presentations? This gives employers the opportunity to see the top talent outside the interview process. We know a lot of our students don't interview well. They're nervous. They've never done it before. But if I can see how well Elizabeth does in the classroom when she's learning the material that you've been teaching, I may say, you know what, she just had a bad moment when she was interviewing, but I've seen her talent. I want to give her a chance. So we just want to open up the doors for more opportunities for our students to get employed. Next slide. And so finally, Career Services. How do you contact us during this virtual time? Well, we've moved to our homes, but our phone number, the 817-515-1054 still works. And then trcareerservices@tccd.edu. Also, we have a Blackboard page. It's underneath Student Development Services for TR. And you'll be able to click on the little bit.ly, and it gives you all the information that I talked about. Opportunities for employers. We've had a couple virtual sessions with employers. We had Apple, we had Nike. There's resume tips. There's the My Plan link. There's a summer playlist. We did a summer playlist of songs that have to do with working. So there's lots of opportunities and lots of exposure out there for your students. Just let us know how we can partner with you. Any questions?
No, Kristen, the information is very helpful information, and I'll make sure I'll pass the word to the math department, to every faculty in the math department.
We would appreciate that. It's a tough world, and so if we can give our students a heads up or a leg up, I think that is the best thing that we can do for them.
Well, the last couple of years I've been teaching Math Emporium, and so we do have student assistant assisting my class, my own class. Yeah, so we have some student assistant who have a very strong background with mathematics, and they assist us in the Math Emporium.
Okay.
And so and that is also for my own class too. So that's really helpful.
Very good. Thank you, Jason. Dave, I know you have no mic, but if you'll let us know in the chat, is there anything that you would suggest? And then we also have another guest. Let me find the other guest. Is it Rahman? Did I pronounce that correctly? It says they're here, but they're not saying much. Well, hopefully you listened and enjoyed the presentation. Anything else that I can address? Any other career services questions, things you've been thinking about, ideas that you've heard that you would like to see us incorporate for the fall? Anybody? No? All right, you guys have been very quiet today. Well, if not, I appreciate your participation and listening and passing the word on. We think this is going to be a wonderful thing for the fall, the more we can get engaged with our faculty and staff. And so looking forward to a great relationship.